Hello, my name is T-Bot. I was electrocuted just before this recording when I was tripping over everything in my house, including the bucket of water next to my computer and microphone. When it electrocuted me, my voice was suddenly robotic, and I couldn't do anything about it. I went nearly an hour of recording with the other members in the call before I had to power down. I'm honestly shocked that nobody noticed how my voice sounded off, but I'm cool with it. Let's just hope that nobody finds out about my little secret.
1, 2, 3. Alright, that should be good. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Animacast, your podcast for animators and artists featuring animators and artists. Today I have here with me Pieman, T-Bot, and special guest Hyun of Hyun's Dojo.
Oh, I'm special.
Yes, you are indeed special.
Yeah, you're special.
I didn't know I was that special, but it's good to be special, I guess. What's up, guys?
Yeah. So, this episode's gonna kind of center around plagiarism. This has been a subject that Pieman's been wanting to talk about for a while.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's affected a lot of people, though, so...
Yeah.
I don't think it's just me that wants to talk about it.
Me too. I think I wanted to talk about it as well, especially with recent events and also, all the Twitter dramas and stuff that people tend to do. So, I think it's good to cover that. And this is actually my first time talking to Hatena, which is kind of weird because I feel like we've been talking for ages, but this is actually the first time I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
And T-Bot.
Yes,
Historic
it's
moment.
me.
Wait, actually, this is
This'll
the
go
first
down
time I'm
in
talking to
history.
any of you guys.
Well, yeah.
Newbie.
But yeah. Okay,
All right.
so how do we do this thing?
Well, we read off the list that's pinned in the chat and we just go on.
All right.
And to start off is just the question, what is plagiarism? Because the definition, from what I can remember, is taking work that isn't yours and claiming that it's yours.
That sounds
But
like
it
plagiarism to me.
it tends to be mixed with tracing even when credit is given. And I kind of wanted to make that distinction.
Yeah, I mean, I think plagiarism can be defined in like different varieties, I guess. You can like super copy someone, and then there's like very heavy referencing. And I think
Yeah.
and then people copying things and then changing it very slightly. And then that's when it gets into the gray area.
Tumblr OCs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Ew.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So what should we talk about plagiarism?
That's a good question.
We should probably start off with something about the whole Stickman Warriors online Ep.4 fiasco that's been going on for a while. My voice does not sound strange, by the way.
Yeah, that's actually the next point we got here. We'll just move on to that. Stickman Warriors, I think it's Ep.4. It's an Android game on tablets and phones. And the game in itself is plagiarism because they completely stole the premise, like most of the code, I'm sure, or at least how it looks and feels from another game that came like a year before it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and then to advertise their game, they took some videos from the Dojo channel. They just picked a few of them out and started using those as advertisements.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know, but this has been going on for probably like a year now, right?
It's way over a year, like 2 years at least.
Yeah, and I remember you made a video about it, which I saw, and that's kind of like when it started becoming a problem.
Yeah, it's that was around when I think the only four that I knew that existed of those kinds of ads were Your First Stick Figure Spotlight, two clips from my Level Up collab and Adro's Ghosts collab, and then they just kept taking more stuff.
Yeah, and I've tried reaching out to them, and I'm pretty sure you have too, right, Hatena?
Oh, absolutely, every way I could, but if anything, I'm pretty sure they blocked me from seeing those ads, because I get messages about it all the time, but I have not seen it in a year.
Yeah, me too. And I think I tried looking them up as well, and they're based off the Philippines, right?
Yeah. Well, no, they're Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. Yeah.
Some guy named Ken.
Yeah, somewhere out there. So, like,
Yeah.
even if you wanted to take legal action, I think it would be a very complicated process because they're not in the U.S. Like, if they were in the U.S.,
Yeah.
it'd be no problem. So
Vietnam's copyright laws are far more relaxed than the more common laws regarding copyright.
And you know what bothers me most about that is that what they advertise looks nothing like the game. Like, I've looked at gameplay footage, and it's literally just like ragdoll stick figures, just like flopping
and
around.
not even their game is original.
Yeah.
Like they just completely stole that too.
So I think that's.
And yet they're like,
yeah.
Last I checked, they had like 10 million downloads, and like I'm not as worried about it now.
I think it's like 14
because
million.
yeah, Jesus, it's
They
too much.
They also have really expensive in-app purchases up to like $50. So
What?
take that for what you will.
$50
actually, like,
for a stick figure game.
So I feel like it's important to mention Pieman. When I told this little story to Pieman, he got pretty livid himself, and he went out of his way to make like a 10-minute long video about it or something, just exposing a lot more than what was on the surface.
Yeah, you're gonna have to link me that. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I think he used like one of the clips from your streams where you talked about it for a little bit.
Yeah, like a fifth of the runtime is just Hyun talking. So
Oh shit, dude! I forgot that I even talked about it on my stream. Wait, I forgot that I
think
even
it was
streamed.
I think it was like right as soon as I uploaded my video talking about it, and I joined your stream, and you just started ranting about it.
Okay. Yeah, I remember now. I remember.
Yeah, but like I'm not, for the most part now, I'm not worried about their app getting too much traction, because if you look in the reviews, like 99% of it is people calling them out for falsely advertising and shitty gameplay.
Yeah, but that's not the thing that really bothers me. What bothers me
Yeah, I mean,
is
they're making a lot of money from it,
they've
too.
probably made well over, millions of dollars.
I mean,
using our stuff.
if they weren't making money off of this, then you wouldn't see so many ads.
Yeah, exactly. And I've used YouTube's ad system before, and it's really expensive just to get a couple thousand views on your ad. Like,
What did you use it on? Like, what did you advertise?
I think it was like, I forget, but it was for like a sponsorship.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes, well, I was just testing it out as well, just seeing how it works, and then how much it actually costs for companies to use YouTube / Google's ad revenue system, and it's something
They're
like
not cheap.
$100 just for like I think like 2,000 to 4,000 views on your ad or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Pricey.
you can. So I'm pretty sure they're paying well over, I don't even know, like well over thousands of dollars to have this ad displayed, showing our work.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, because it gets to the point where people go to the videos in which they stole from, and like 50% of the comment section just becomes, "I saw this falsely advertised."
I know, dude. So
Yeah,
it kind of
it's like I can't scroll the level up comments anymore, because it's like I'll just see people telling me the same thing.
Stickman Warriors Online gameplay, awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just kind of sucks that we can't really do anything at our level. So if there are any high-class lawyers that are watching this, give us some tips.
Hit us up.
Because I might actually get some consulting for that as well.
Yeah, it's something that I've wanted to resolve for the longest time, and like the only way that I could attack it, because I don't have nearly enough money for to afford a lawyer to sue them or anything, or to get them in any amount of trouble. Like the best solution was to give Google Play, their Play Store, enough reports on the app for them to realize, and because it's like, even though it was made in Vietnam, it still runs through Google's terms of use.
Yeah, but so here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
There are around like 10 other games that are just like this one as well, and there are other games too that
they've
have been advertising our stuff.
Yeah, they've been growing.
Yeah, and
rapidly.
they're all under like different names too. So I feel like even if they do take one down, there'd be like others that pop up, you know.
Yeah, it's because stick figures are like the easiest thing to code.
Exactly.
Or at least like the easiest kind of art form outside of just typical shapes.
Yeah. So
Angry Birds.
T-Bot, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. You've been kind of quiet.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. They know nothing about quality.
Oh.
Yeah, he just messaged me. Oh, his mic got disconnected.
Oh, well. I'm not surprised there.
Yeah.
All
right, we'll just keep on going until he comes back, I guess.
He can weigh in then.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
It'll
think
be like a game of Pop Goes the Weasel. We'll just see when he starts talking.
Yeah.
true. All right. Well, I think the next thing that I was probably gonna do was to make a video myself and then post it on the dojo. But man, I'm not.
Right. You were talking about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing
like
it.
way back.
And then just recently, I think they took one of Jom's stuff as well. So it's like
one of his stick figure things.
Well, yeah, one of
Or,
his
like, which one?
animations. I don't even know which one, but I think it was like one of his RGs or something. So
Okay.
he's been telling me about that
All right.
recently.
We can hear you.
Yo,
Yes, I'm back, sorry.
It's all right. Please enlighten us on what your thoughts are.
yeah, what are you thinking, man?
Well, I didn't mind it too much at first. I was aware of it, but it didn't affect me. Once I found out that they were making money off of it, I got a little more angry. Yeah, it sucks. Those guys are real dicks for sure, angry face.
Which is weird
Yeah.
because
Again, if any lawyers are out there listening.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, plagiarism sucks, man.
Indeed, it does. It happens to the best of us, I guess.
Maybe we should go back to plagiarism because I don't think we've really covered that very well.
Yeah, feel free to expand on that in whatever way you want.
So there's a couple of instances where plagiarism was a really heated debate, I guess. And I'll tell you one story that happened a long time ago.
Story time.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like it was a dark moment in my time because I knew it was a stupid thing to do, but then it heated up a huge Twitter battle.
Oh boy, now you know it's getting
so
serious.
not a lot of people know about this, but it happened. Okay, so it happened. So the story is there's this quote animator, right? And
Right.
And this animator posted a shot from her original series, which was a work in progress. And she posted her shot on Twitter, which got a lot of attention. And, you know, she said, oh, yeah, I'm working on this. This is really great. And this is my shot, right? And got, you know, thousands of likes on Twitter. But the thing is, I was in chat with a couple of friends, and Mick Cool noticed that it was a traced shot, right, from a
Ooh.
popular anime. And then the shot was basically just so it was basically just a girl kind of crouching down and then like running towards the camera kind of shot. It was really short. But then, you know, Mikkel being the master of spotting traced scenes says, "Oh, this is traced from this anime." So I was kind of dumb. I shouldn't have done this, but you know, I was kind of stupid back then. And so what I did was,
How long ago are we speaking?
we're talking years ago. I don't even know how long
All
ago
right,
it was,
cool.
but so on that Twitter post, I posted the shot from the anime as a comment, and then I put, "But why though?" So that was my comment.
That was it, and that was all it
But
took
why
to
though?
start a blaze.
Yeah, that's literally the spark that caused this whole drama.
No.
So then, and then,
Did you end up on a drama alert?
well, it wasn't that, yeah, it wasn't that big, but it, like, you know, in the animation community, you know, whatever happens in the dojo is big because we're pretty small.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then like her side, that animator side was defending her as in like, oh, you know, freaking freaking Naruto traced shots from this other anime, so it's okay, or Disney traces stuff too, and it's like it's normal, and then like people from the dojo were like, well, why don't she just give credit to the shot or say that she's inspired by this shot or something. So it was this huge, oh my god, it was really bad, dude. So and then like,
Just became this huge this
yeah,
he
I
said,
feel
she said
I feel really
argument.
sorry too, because you know, I shouldn't have wrote that comment, but I didn't realize it was gonna be that like a shitstorm like that, you know.
I don't think you should be sorry over that because it wasn't what you intended.
I was like lightly calling her out, but then I wasn't trying to
Yeah,
bash her.
you didn't intend for it to become this huge deal, or at least as big as it was.
Yeah, so people ended up blocking me. Like people ended up blocking other people, right? Because it was so heated. And
Well, that's Twitter.
so I wanted to kind of ask you guys this, because this is the gray area that everyone debates about, is if you heavily reference shots just because, you know, other professional industries do it, should that be okay for the individual artist?
I don't know. I'm definitely not saying this, because there's a long amount of space here where I was supposed to. I mean where I was talking. So yay. I would assume I said something not controversial, because that doesn't fit me.
Yeah, because for me personally, like I'm on the fence kind of still to this point, because I mean, like there's only so many things, like I guess there's so many shots that you can do to make it original. So there's a lot of shots that might end up looking similar. But then at that in that the story that I talked about, that ended up actually being true, that that person did trace that shot, because we talked in DMs afterwards. And then, you know, that person just wanted everything to end because everyone was just fighting. And I was like, oh shit, like I'm sorry that all this shit happened. But yeah, so that person did end up saying that they did heavily reference that shot. And then I was like, okay. So yeah,
Yeah, there's a pretty big stick fight animation going on that I'm sure a lot of people have heard about. Called Combat Gods.
by
Yeah.
Janzoru.
Yeah, wasn't one of his videos uploaded to the dojo and then he got exposed for tracing and then it was taken down?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's another huge topic, right?
Yeah, I kind of want to get into combat. Well, before we do that, I kind of want to get Pie Man's thoughts on, like the line between tracing and plagiarism.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, there's kind of a gray area between like what referencing is and what plagiarism is.
Mhm.
And so I think it's one of those things where you have to kind of decide for yourself what you think is referencing and what you think is blatant plagiarism. I think for me, when you get into the realm of when you're starting to like trace someone's work, like frame for frame, I think that's about where plagiarism is for me. And so when someone rips your stuff straight off of YouTube, it's your work, frame for frame. So I think that's blatant plagiarism. So when Stickman Warriors Online, for instance, takes your work and says it's theirs, yeah, that's not true.
Yeah. Um. So I kind of agree with that as well, but I think there comes to a point where you don't even need to be tracing frame by frame, or like like overlaying the video on top of your animation and tracing it. It could just be like
Yeah.
you're referencing so closely to this particular shot that you know even if you didn't like trace frame by frame, it's like so similar that it's just considered plagiarism, right?
Right.
Because
Because it was still originally thought of by someone completely different, just by a whole new person. And whether or not you have referenced it or traced it, you've still taken that creativity and you claimed it as your own.
yeah, and there's a lot of controversy over Janzoru, if I'm saying that right. A lot of people give him hate,
Yonzoru.
but but here's the thing. I think he's really young. I mean, like when I was young, I traced a freaking Vegeta drawing on my binder, and then I told everyone that I made it, and then that everyone was like, "Oh, cool, dude! Like you should be an artist." I'm like, "I am an artist." So, like I think
You see Vegeta.
I think like the concept of plagiarism is taught at a later age, and when you're a kid or a younger, it doesn't really, you know, like you don't have that natural moral against it. So it definitely has to be taught that it's not okay to do. So in the case
Right.
of Janzoru, so here's what happened behind the scenes, right? Because I was talking with him the entire time, and so the first time, which was the first video that got uploaded and then taken down, that one it had a lot of plagiarism. So I messaged him and I said, "Oh, you can't do this. You have to you have to credit, at least credit the people, and then cite your sources if you did heavily reference some of your shots because they were from like a popular anime, right?" And he was like, "Okay, yeah, no problem,
Right.
man. I won't do that again. I'll make sure to give credits and stuff." And then Combat Gods came out, which was his second animation, and it still had heavily traced slash references referenced shots.
Yeah.
But
And that absolutely blew up.
yeah, and that blew up. But in the description, he put down every source that he used. Right in the description. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you go back to
he
the
did.
video.
I was pretty mad about Hanzo. Just the thought of him being young didn't cross my mind. I was so caught up in the fact of him plagiarizing or heavily tracing. And I've avoided watching his videos simply because I don't want to add to his success in any way. But then I checked the description in some of his videos, and I realized that he was giving credit, at least when I looked at it. And And I don't think it's as big of a deal as some people are making it out to be.
Yeah, I mean, so he actually did what I said, which he did cite his sources, but then the problem was not enough people were reading the description, so they still thought he traced and took
Yeah.
credit for the thing, or for his reference shots. So I had to go reach out to him again, and I said, "Yo, like you're really good, and like you're really like he's a really skilled animator, and you can tell."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like at least 50% of the video is his original animation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really good.
Yeah. So I told him, like you don't need to reference these shots because you're really good anyway. So in the next video, try making something that's 100% original, and then I think a lot more people will respect you that way. So I think, yeah. So I think he's slowly learning. I think it's like a learning process for him because I think he's been just doing whatever he wanted for fun, and it just got really blown out. So, so I guess at the end of the day, plagiarism is bad, but then I feel like most of the time, the people who do plagiarize don't even know that they're plagiarizing in the first place, and they have to be taught not to do that. And then in very rare instances, people are just evil and just steal stuff for internet points, and those people should be shafted.
Like Stickman Warriors.
Yeah, like Stickman Warriors, exactly. So I think that's
What's up, lawyers?
So I think that's a good contrast.
I'll show you some Stickman lawyers.
So all of you guys hating on animators because they've plagiarized or traced something, I would at least try to get their side of the story, and then don't make it like a hateful process, but make it a learning process for them.
Right. The internet is so quick to hate these days. Like if they see something that mildly infuriates them, they'll write a paragraph about it just to disencourage the artist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just disgusting.
It's unfortunate because they're so young too. They don't know how to deal with such vile hate sometimes.
Exactly.
And it can really really mess with the person.
Yeah. So pretty crazy. I'm trying to think of other things about plagiarism.
Alright, well, we can move on to the Cuphead thing if we're finished on thoughts about that.
Oh wait, I have one more thing to add about plagiarism.
Oh, all right.
So there's the thing about industry, right? So the thing about industry, so there's a big difference. Because it's pretty normal for industry to kind of copy scenes and I guess trace or reference other shots from other animations, right? Mm-hmm. And do you guys think that is like just a thing that people accept just because that they're a big company? Because I think probably different rules apply to companies compared to just regular independent animators.
I don't think they're exempt from specific plagiarism actions, I guess. It's more so that they're big enough to the point that they can get away with it a lot more easily than solo creators or indie developers.
True.
Because the laws stand up as they stand for anyone in any position.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're from like a huge anime, if you're animating for like Naruto or Dragon Ball and you either lightly or heavily reference something, while I don't think that's entirely okay, they can get away with it a lot easier because of the media.
Yeah, for sure. And the whole controversy with the Lion King and Disney with the Kimba, right? Kimba the White Lion, was.
I have not heard of
No,
this.
you haven't heard of this. Okay, people need to know about this then.
Didn't it come first?
Yeah, so Kimba the
Yeah.
White Lion is essentially Lion King, or the whole story of Lion King, and that was from a Japanese. That's from Japan, I believe. Yeah, just if you look it up, the entire story, like most of the characters, the character designs, are all from Kimba, and Disney pretty much ripped that entire series into Lion King, and like it has like a lot of the shots from Lion King as well, and which were just blatantly just taken, right? And to this day, a lot of people, they keep telling Disney to at least give homage or credits to Kimba the White Lion, but their official statement is that they didn't know anything about Kimba the White Lion.
I'm now jumping in to say sorry for being quiet.
Yeah, it's because Kimba the White Lion is really old. It's like from, I don't even know, it was from like 60 years ago or something.
65 or something.
Yeah, it's a really old kind of series. But yeah.
But you also have to think, like, somebody who was working on Lion King could have seen it and then just not told anybody about it and then had that be the process.
Exactly.
So it's possible most people at Disney didn't know about Kimba, but someone did.
Yeah, someone definitely did. So
they probably just weren't the higher ups.
I think even for big companies like Disney, you should at least say something about the original creators. And
Yeah.
that's like I've hated Disney before, but once I figured that out, that was like the nail in the coffin. I hate Disney forever, dude.
Yeah.
It'll never be the same.
I mean, who doesn't hate Disney in some way?
Yeah, but freaking yeah, just look it up, guys. Look up Kimba the White Lion and Disney Lion King, and then you'll just see.
Yeah, just the release dates. The release dates alone.
Yeah, you'll see articles and all these shot per shot comparisons of how Disney pretty much stole from that movie or series. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to move on to the Cuphead subject?
I wanted to say one more thing about industry, if you're fine with that.
Yeah, feel free. Feel free.
So as far as like industrial plagiarism, I think you got to look at it on a case by case sort of thing, because some companies own the rights to shots that they reference pretty heavily, and so those ones are a little more in a gray area, in my opinion. Whereas when you're looking at like one studio stealing from like another studio or an independent creator, I think that's more blatant plagiarism. But I think it's one of those things where you have to kind of look into every case of supposed plagiarism to kind of come to your own conclusion about it.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
so
there's a lot of.
I think personally that's why it's so heated.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know there's a lot of companies that's the reason why it's kind of more, I would say, accepted in bigger companies, because most of the time they reach out and do some kind of deal with what they're taking. So yeah, a lot of people need to do like do your research before calling another company out, you know?
Sure. Or before calling anyone out.
Yeah. Except Disney, because Disney actually screwed up. Screw those guys.
Their PR team sucks.
Hey, title this one, Hyun hates Disney.
Yeah.
Hyun exposed.
If that's an expose, that's
more like
pretty
Disney
weak.
exposed,
Yeah.
not me. Disney exposed.
Yeah, what do you want about?
Hyun and Disney exposed. Two birds with one stone.
Animacast podcast turning into drama alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly don't know anything about Cuphead, so I'll let you guys talk about this.
Take the stage, Pie Man.
Okay, so a little while ago, probably like a week or two ago, there was this Kickstarter for a game called Enchanted Portals. You can look up the trailer while I'm kind of talking about this, and then you can kind of weigh in
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna link it in chat.
what you're thinking.
All right.
But basically, Enchanted Portals is this game that was, as the creators put it, very inspired by Cuphead. And then when people decided to go in and watch the trailer, they're like, well, wait a minute, this is exactly like Cuphead. It's just animated in Flash. And so people were looking at the gameplay and they were like, this is exactly the same. They're looking at the art style, they're saying this is the same. The only thing that's different are the characters. And so some people are speculating that they might not be viable to sue, because it's not like they're taking assets from Cuphead, but it's basically Cuphead. And so a lot of people are upset, and they're not entirely sure if they can take legal action against it. But I don't know. Maybe you guys have something to say about whether or not you think this is plagiarism, because a lot of people seem to think it is.
Cuphead is an amazing game visually. The animations were all made from paper to digital artwork. I love the game, it is so beautiful. Yes, yay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go ahead first.
Animation-wise, it's not plagiarism. It's about just as It's like saying that Cuphead plagiarized off of old Disney cartoons, because they didn't. It's just as similar. It was heavily inspired by that style, and yes, there were absolutely references, because how could there not be? But it wasn't heavily referenced through anything. It was just mostly inspired.
You scroll down on that timeline for a
Yeah.
bit. I want to see if we can get to a specific picture. That one. Click on that one. So
Oh boy.
yeah, this is a side-by-side screen of pretty much everything. You can post it in Discord chat so that they can see it.
Okay.
But this is what a lot of
changes
people
things.
are upset about.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to crop it.
Yeah. But a lot of people are upset because everyone thinks that every boss fight looks like a Cuphead boss fight. And I think people are less upset about the art style and more upset about the fact that the gameplay is pretty identical.
All right, let's see this.
But
Do we need to pay this game, or is it going to be free?
well, right now it's they're making a Kickstarter for it, right? And so they're working on making it, but they have a Kickstarter up that you have to pay for in order for this game to actually, work and succeed.
I'm gonna look up the Kickstarter.
See, I think this is a case where it's pretty obvious that the original developers were heavily inspired by Cuphead. I think the only thing that's being actually plagiarized is kind of like the creativity of the boss fights, right? On how it's kind of like this, it's like the same boss type of, thing where you have to pretty much defeat the boss in the same sort of way. And then the bosses have like the same attacks. Kind of like same rotations and stuff. Which I think that's the point where people get mad about. Not really about the style. I mean, I guess the style is similar, but it's not really anything that would make me mad. The only thing that kind of shoves me the wrong way is that they copied the mechanics of the boss levels. Yeah.
I'm not turning into a robot.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, man. I wouldn't I guess I wouldn't have an actual opinion until the full game is released and I play it myself.
Yeah, and you can see it for yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it's fair to kind of give it a shake and then see how it does and whether or not it really is in its full context plagiarism. Because this is just kind of a quick, brief view into it.
Yeah. If you think about video games, pretty much every idea has been done already. So it's just like,
Yeah, when broken down.
yeah, and then you have new types of games like freaking League of Legends, for example. People said it was Dota knockoff, and then they ended up making it their own or kind of changing it enough, and then it kind of evolved into this entire genre of MOBAs. So now there's a whole bunch of different types of MOBAs. So I don't know.
And now there are League of Legends spin-offs.
Yeah, and then there's League of Legends spin-offs like Mobile Legends and then all that kind of stuff, which I think is actually a knockoff, but I'm not sure. I've never played that game. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, man.
Yeah, this one is one that I was really kind of on the fence about, but a lot of people on Twitter were really like fired up about this, so I thought I'd bring it up and see what you guys thought.
Yeah. I wouldn't take action against it, but it would like I would have a slightly sour taste in my mouth. Is how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, is there anything else that we want to say about plagiarism before we move on to the little Q&A, I guess?
I would like to mention, just like for the record, I've had one of my flip notes stolen by Macho.
Oh my god.
Macho Bear.
No, not Macho. It's completely different animator.
Oh, okay. I thought it was another.
It was this back on like Flipnote Pseudo Memo before I joined the dojo. We were both on there, and there was a really popular creator who went by the name of Macho, and he took one because you can download Flipnotes that you find on the site, and you can make spin-offs of your own using the same audio.
Huh. Interesting.
And in a sense, that has its own plagiarism issue there, but it's nowhere near as serious because whenever you make a spin-off, it'll like the first thing when you click on the description, there's a link to the original animation. And Macho took one of Pieman's filler animations and just stole the idea.
Damn.
Yeah, and guess who got no clout?
There's a permanent link that leads to your Flipnote.
And no one clicked on it. I'm sad.
Well, just get good, man.
People thought they'd get malware from visiting my page.
Yeah. All right, we want to move on to the Q&A.
Sure.
Just the fun little questions.
So.
All right, off the top of my head, Hyun, do you have a favorite animation, or at least a favorite view that has been uploaded to the dojo?
Favorite animation on the dojo?
Yeah.
I would say, man. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd still say.
Just off the top of your head?
I would still say Shock 1.
Yeah, a classic.
Shock 1 is
have you seen?
still.
Hi, man. Have you seen Shock? The Shock series?
I've probably seen it. I'm just so out of it.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Shock 1 and 2 are still like my all-time favorite. It's just so simple, but the choreography is so good.
I found the video and the ad I got was your League of Legends ad.
Was what?
Would you look at that?
Play League of Legends.
Wait, my ad?
We're not sponsored, no. Yeah, I got your ad
Oh,
on
what the
your
heck?
channel.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. I've been getting that ad a lot, and I love it.
That's funny.
I've gotten it a few times. Yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, alright.
But yeah,
That's a good one.
Shock still like it's timeless, dude. It doesn't get old, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
I
It's like you can't criticize it for being unoriginal. It was arguably one of the first good ones.
it's just the perfect animation for me. It's just Shock, dude. I want to be shocked.
Fuck, I should have come prepared with actual questions.
So this is like a Hyun Q&A where you guys just ask me a bunch of questions.
Yeah, I guess so. Or you can flip the table if you want.
Why? He's not mad?
Why he's not Well, while I try to think of stuff, we're gonna be sitting here in awkward silence.
Well, I can ask Hyun a question.
Feel free.
What's your thoughts on pineapple on pizza?
I actually like pineapple on a pizza. I don't know about you guys.
Thank you.
It's actually
Thank you.
actually pretty good.
T-Bot and I are in agreement. It's weird.
Okay, no, you know what the problem is? Is that people who think pineapple on pizza is gross is when there's like raw pineapple on the pizza, you know what I mean?
No, cooked pineapple on pizza too.
No, not cooked. Caramelized
No,
pineapple.
they're both good. You are wrong, and they are both good.
Okay. Next time, anyone that's listening as well, next time you get a pizza, get these toppings, okay? Get pepperoni, pineapple, ham, and jalapenos.
Yeah.
Pepperoni, pineapple, ham, and jalapenos. Get that. It'll be the best pizza you've ever eaten.
I can do without the jalapenos, but that still sounds pretty good.
If you're a little wussy, then don't get the X-nay on the pineapple.
Yeah, like me, for example.
But it's really good, trust me.
Get some real
Trust
hot
me,
sauce
dude.
on there.
It's not just a freaking can of pineapples on top of one slice of pizza. It's freaking... It's just a little hint of sweetness. It makes it good. Yeah. And I also add milk first before adding the cereal too, if you guys wanted to know that. But
oh, Lord.
We can get into that later.
Do you like fold your toilet paper or do you crumple it?
What?
Well, I'm just asking now that we're on these questions. Like,
you started this.
Are you weird? How weird are you?
Okay.
All right, can we reel this? Let's reel this back a little bit. Let's reel this back.
That's not even a freaking preference. That's a hygienic flaw right there. If you crumple it.
Okay, let's we're going in the wrong direction. Yeah.
I asked a variety. Now you get to ask some.
I just had a question, and then you asked the stupid toilet paper question. God damn it.
Diversion tactics.
Have you ever animated you've animated full body, right?
Yes, I have, but I'm not good at animating full body. And
if you could draw full body better, would you do that more often, or would you still stick with stickmen?
No, I would still, like, even if I was like really good at full body, I would, or the way my brain is wired, I would probably still do stick figures because of just how economical it is to just, because if you go full body, you increase your workload by like 10-fold, maybe 20-fold.
Oh yeah. Just look at Gilded Guy.
Exactly, dude. Like, if you watch his streams, it, like...
Oh, I've been dropping by constantly for this new one.
Yeah, it's painful to watch. I cannot do that.
Crazy.
Just doing the lining or like the roughs and then the lining and then the base colors and then the shade lines and then the shading. That's like 8 extra steps when you can just make 5 lines and then move on to the next frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been trying some more complicated storyboards after watching some of his streams, and I found that they're really helping improve my choreography, but they're absurdly time-consuming in comparison.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing about full body animations. As soon as you go full body, the expectations from the audience just grow exponentially, because you know, you got freaking animes, you got cartoons, and all that kind of stuff. But when they see a stick figure animation, their standard is so low. Because when you think stick figure animation, you just think like this shitty little, you know, like 12-year-old.
I don't understand why people get so mad over original concept or quality of animation on the dojo when it's mostly composed of stickman animation.
Exactly. So when someone actually does see a good, well animated stick figure animation, it's like it's kind of a wow factor because you don't really see that every day. Whereas if you make a decent full body animation, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, I've seen it in anime before. I've seen better things on anime.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just
but it's like you can offer, you can give out your best, and for the consumers, it just won't ever be enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, like that's kind of for any media. When you think like any super time consuming production,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the expectation when you get into that work, is that you can do your absolute best, and whatever you do next, people's expectations are going to be raised significantly.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, the most bang for your buck is stick figure animations because it's actually fun. It's
Yeah,
actually fun.
because the expectation, the bar is set low, so you have the sky's the limit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even though the thing about stickman animation is that while the expectations are low, I don't want that to limit my creativity or my quality.
Mm-hmm.
So like, especially in like some of my most recent videos and animations, I've been trying as hard as I can to just outdo myself every time. Like even
That's
with
good.
the 360 collab, because that is
That was a
kind
good
of like
collab.
untapped territory. So I was
That's probably one of the best collabs by you, in my opinion.
I think it was the best. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for participating in it.
Oh yeah, I did participate in it.
Yeah, and you made the thumbnail on the dojo. You made the thumbnail you.
Oh yeah, I'm not that self-centered, which is why it's called Hyun's Dojo. But it's okay. I'm not that bad. But yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to
Ooh.
keep striving and try to
Yeah.
one up yourself every time.
I got another question. First, how many collabs have you hosted?
I don't even know. I don't keep track of that, but probably a lot.
I mean, you got the home run contest, the Christmas one. There was a holiday. You've done a lot of them.
Yeah, I've done a lot. Not as much recently, but then I plan to pick it back up next year. I think
Ooh.
this year, 2019, was more just focusing on keeping up with budget and, doing commissions, making money. Because recently the dojo studio, quote unquote, we actually bought a house for ourselves. So we got freaking mortgage, we got insurance, we got gas, electric. When before, we used to just live at my parents' place, which is very, very crowded. So, yeah, this year was just focused on just, making sure we keep up with the budget. But now I think we're in a spot where we can just start doing collabs again and more community stuff.
Good. So, when is there like a date that you have planned to start your next one, or is it just generally next year?
Actually, we might be for the holidays. I'm not sure because well, I don't want to jinx it, but
Yeah.
Pluto would know more about that.
Oh, so Pluto's getting back into the collab,
Yeah,
the whole collab thing.
maybe not. I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right. Well, if he does, I'm excited to see what he pumps out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Out of all of your collabs, which one was the hardest to make, and which one was your favorite?
Home Run collab was the hardest, just because I had to edit every single part.
You streamed like the entire
Oh my
compilation
god,
process,
yeah,
right?
I streamed that entire thing. I almost died.
How long was that? How long was the whole? How long did that take?
It was, I don't know how long it was, but it was pretty gruesome. Especially with collabs because you get so many different files and people not following the rules or freaking corrupted files. There's always problems when you're compiling. Yeah, dude, you're the one who went over the time limit.
You
And
did.
I'm like, dude, why does this guy have
Let's
like a
settle
40,
this right here and right now.
It's like a 40-second part, and I'm just like, dude, do you not read the goddamn rules, man? There's a timer right in the middle of the freaking, right in the middle of the stage.
Yeah, why?
No, your part was actually good though.
So you just didn't care about the time limit then?
No, I just forgot it existed.
Well, it was still good.
Yeah, but even though like that was one of my favorite parts because your style is so amazingly accurate to Smash gameplay.
Oh yeah, I loved your style.
Yeah, like absurdly accurate. Like whenever I take a look at any of your animations influenced by Smash Bros, it's just like I could even pick out that it's melee mainly. Like without anyone telling me, because it's so. I don't think anybody has captured that style nearly as well as you have.
Why thank you guys. I'm not a robot who just traces Smash gameplay into my animations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Smash is amazing. Wait, you guys play Smash?
Oh yeah.
Freaking add me, dude.
Dude, I just I've never played Smash competitively in any way. Only with Pieman when he comes over, we'll play a bunch of rounds. But for the most part, I'm either playing it by myself or with Pieman.
Mm-hmm.
But on Wednesday in my college, I went to the game room, and I challenged like this whole group of people who play Smash Bros. Competitively, like in tournaments and everything.
Oh, damn.
And I'm pretty proud to say that I beat them with who's possibly the lowest tier character.
What?
So I might get more into competitive. Yeah,
All right, now, okay, now we really need to fight, Hatena.
we do when I get better internet. Because last time we tried that.
Oh, yeah. True.
Yeah.
All right.
It didn't end well.
Whenever one of us meets each other in person or gets better internet,
that's one of the first things we're doing.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight.
Not even in Smash. We're just gonna fight.
Yeah. So getting back on topic with the second part of your question.
Yeah, that's
My favorite collab is actually the Christmas tree collab. That's actually one of my favorites because I don't know. I think I just like collabs where it's just like one template and then people just add stuff to it, and then they keep building it up. Yeah. And
I think one of the biggest appeals to it was that it was a non-violent collab. We need more non-violent collabs.
Exactly. Just like very little action, just very good vibes, and a lot of really good parts.
Yeah, like I still like year round. I still go back and watch that, and it's one of the better collabs. Yeah.
Weren't you the one that decapitated yourself?
Yes, that was me.
Non-violence,
and,
my
and
ass.
here I am saying that we need less violence.
Yeah, but that's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
And then, one of my favorite collabs.
Do you have any questions outside of toilet paper and pizza?
I do. I guess it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so regarding the lore of Hyun's dojo,
here we go.
How? I'm not requiring you to open like the 60-page binder with all the lore in it, but I'm just like curious, like how far has the lore exceeded your expectations with how far people have taken it?
Yeah, I think you're referencing dojo duels, right? Or are you referencing the dojo as a whole?
Just probably as a whole, including duels, if you want to go that specific.
Okay. Well, dojo duels itself, the original lore was very simple concept where I just try to make as many regions as possible that I think like every character would fit in, so people can just have a building block where like a foundation, I guess, where they can build their stories. Because I think one thing about dojo duels that I wanted to be better than like RHG, for example, was to focus it more on stories and backgrounds, because I like reading that kind of stuff. So I like we just made a simple, like I just wrote a simple lore, and then I guess people took that and then evolved it in a much more complex manner, via the lore committee and other people that were passionate about that project. And yeah, I think, I don't know, like sometimes I might think, like I get the feeling that it's too complicated, but I guess some people like that. But I kind of like my stories to be simple and more general. But I think,
Kind of a linear
yeah,
thing.
yeah, and then you have like World of Warcraft people, types of people, where they just like read everything, and then they just try to get as much information, and then like want to make it as detailed as possible, which is also like really cool.
All right. I think we're closing up. But I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask a pretty good question. You would you say you've had like one of the more extraordinary successes online?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So like where in your journey to this point, like what are some of the few points that have been the most exciting and just life changing?
Um, I can tell you about the first, I guess the first time that I got reached out to by a big company was Riot Games, right? And this was around like eight
Right.
years ago, or I don't even know. It was like 6 years ago, 6 years ago. And that was back when Riot was still young as well, but they were pretty big. Like I think they were on their way of becoming like the biggest game in the world, right? And then we made
Right.
Comeback Collab 3, I think, by Pluto, or hosted by Pluto. And then I made that League of Legends part, which was Stick Spotlight 1, which was originally for Pluto's collab, right?
Right. And then that evolved into something far
And then,
bigger.
yeah, and then a lot of League people really liked that. And then I guess Riot saw it, and then they really liked it. So that's when the producer, or the executive producer of Riot Games, DM'd me on YouTube out of all places, because I don't think Twitter was that popular back then.
It wasn't.
And I didn't give out my email at all. So the executive producer of Riot DMing you on YouTube is pretty crazy. And I thought he was a scammer, so I was about to tell him, or I was about to tell him off, you know. But yeah, so that was one of the biggest, like, oh my god, like what the, like why is this guy reaching out to me? And then there we made Stick Spotlight 2, 3, and 4, and I think, wait, is there a 5?
No, I think it ended
Okay,
at 4.
4. Yeah. So yeah, that was like the turning point for me, because I was just like a nobody back then. And then I kind of evolved that and like took the funds from that to build up the dojo, and then just kind of keep building our community to the point where it is right now. And yeah, like we still get jobs from Riot. Like we're still doing a huge thing for them. Multiple projects with them.
Is it something you can talk about at all?
Um, yeah, like on this Monday, or yeah, this upcoming Monday, they're gonna drop a project from us.
Oh.
And mostly from the guys from Zetai Absolute. If you know those guys, they're like
Oh, okay.
Sakuga super crazy animators,
Right, right.
independent animators.
Yeah, they're talented.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one of the biggest things for me, and I still remember those stories.
Yeah, I kind of felt fairly similar. I'm, of course, not to quite the extent. I haven't been reached out to by some huge corporation like that. But definitely when my first real successful collaboration, when one of the janitors of the dojo asked for it to be featured on the dojo,
Yeah,
like that, I was absurdly hyped.
that's cool.
Like that, because that meant so much to me. Because like that was my goal for the longest time. Because I don't talk about this too often, but like when I used to hate stick fights because I thought that they were just so low effort and low quality. Like it was so easy to make them, and to an extent, like in comparison to a lot of animations, they are, but they're still very time consuming because it's still animation
Yep.
and choreography is not that easy.
Yeah.
But when I was looking up stick fights one night, and I ran into some of the dojo's content, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then I saw the imitator, and I just my style of content just immediately shifted. And I just started really getting intensely into the dojo. And then when I found out you guys had an actual site, like it was more like Newgrounds instead of just a closed off community. I was like, oh, I have to join this right now. And ever since that point, it was my goal to like get featured in some way, like on the front page or even on the YouTube. And then Collision, my first Flash collab, got featured on the portal. That was exciting. And then Kryptonite got featured on the Dojo YouTube, and it was like a mixture of anxiety and excitement because I wasn't sure how people would receive another synced collab hoster, because at that point Shuriken was the only one.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember that phase where people were like, "Oh, Hatena's like, he's just popping Shuriken or something like that."
Yeah,
But I think.
I remember Shuriken being very, very open about
Oh really? Oh shit.
about wanting other people to do the same stuff that he does.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of stigma as well because I know a lot of people are saying that it's overdone now, but I still like it, dude. Like,
Yeah. That's the whole jumble of
I,
You plagiarized Shuriken style.
yeah.
going back to plagiarism.
It's a circle, man.
Yeah, that's a whole other argument on its own, and we'll talk about that later because we're running out of time here.
No, dude, we got all the time in the world. This is gonna be a 24-hour podcast, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, that moment meant so much to me. Like literally, I remember the day that it was uploaded. I was shaking reading the comments, being like, "Holy shit, this is so awesome!"
That's cool, man. Because that's like the first. That's like the feeling that I got when Riot was doing that shit to me.
It's like that's exactly how it felt to me. Because it's like to get to that point that you never thought that you'd reach. That's just an extraordinary feeling that I just wish so many more people would be able to feel.
Yeah.
But I also just want to just kind of take this moment, this opportunity right here to just say thank you for making this community and for pretty much changing my life. Like I've gained a lot of success through being in Hyun's dojo. And when I got the message of being a partner, like I was in school at the time and I had to go to the bathroom just to freak out.
Oh damn, dude. Well.
Yeah, so I just gotta say thank you, man, because this whole thing has changed my life, and I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. And like, it's not just me. It's like it's everyone, you know. I'm literally just a dude that just sits here and just nods my head when Sarith tells me to do something or he wants to do something. So I would actually thank Sarith and the global mods and also Jeff, our original dojo coder, for making all that possible, because they're the real heroes. I literally don't do anything, dude. I just sit here, and then I was like, hey, it'd be cool to have a dojo because Fluid Anim's gone, and then yeah, it just happens. Like I think things just happen naturally. It's not really like what I did. It's just something that just happened, and it's cool that people like you kind of get round up into this as well, and then kind of make it their lives. And yeah, it feels really good to make people feel that way, on how I feel. Like just recently, Riot just posted my advertisement as their main advertisement campaign, I guess. And if you look at League of Legends YouTube channel right now, and if you look at their uploads, you'll see all these high quality cinematics, all these crazy videos, and then you'll see my little shitty stick figure ad in their uploads list, and it looks so out of place. But it's like, dude, like how did we get here? This is pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess just keep doing things for fun, and just grab opportunities when they come up, and then you'll eventually just get to that point. Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this episode. Is there anything you guys want to shout out? Anything you got going on before we end?
I had one thing, but I'll let you guys go first.
All right. Pie Man, you got anything going on? Anything you want to link?
Yeah, I'd like to link my YouTube page. It'll be in the channel pages for the Animacast, but it will probably also be in the description.
It will.
Hit that up. That's pretty epic. It's an epic gamer move. Going to my YouTube page and potentially even subbing.
Yeah.
Nice.
T-Bot? Anything you want to plug? All right.
What a humble guy.
All right. Fair enough.
Um,
Hyun, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to bring up was it Animate and Dojo 2.0, because I know a lot of people are wondering about that.
All right.
So I just wanted to read. I watched the first podcast of you guys talking about it a little bit, and so I kind of wanted to clear up some stuff about that, because
please. Yeah, one of the I think it was Cryo. I forget his name. Cryologic. Yeah, he reached out to me and asked me for some specific specific advice.
So I kind of wanted to.
Yeah, feel free.
Well, I don't know how much more time we have, but kind of wanted to just explain.
Just as long as you want.
So Animate, not a lot of people know about it, and I've been kind of pushing it out just to test the waters. But it is a huge project that I'm working on with 3 other developers, Andrew, Cryologic, Bruno, and then Michael, aka Sexy Monkey. They all was it Andrew actually reached out to me with this huge idea about having a website for animators, where they can pretty much essentially earn their wage there, and then also make a living via finding jobs and animated jobs there. So I just wanted to reiterate that it is a heavy work in progress, and whatever is up on the site right now is like 5% of what we're trying to achieve. Because right now it's kind of just an empty portal and not much you can do. But we do have bigger things like, putting it up to industry quality, and having stuff like a Twitter-like feed just for animators, and a jobs board, and then a portfolio builder, having ability to add groups, so you can be a part of a studio per se, kind of. And then on top of that, stuff for companies as well to hire animators from there, so like a jobs board. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool things that we're working on behind the scenes. So if you guys want to kind of join the Discord server, then maybe Hatena will provide a link, and then you can make an account there to...
Yeah, it'll be in the description if you want to join.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big project, but it doesn't mean that we're not working on the dojo as well, because the dojo is a separate thing. I just wanted to clarify that.
Right.
Yeah, dojo.
So then about Dojo 2.0.
Yeah, Dojo 2.0. I know a lot of people are frustrated because it's not coming out.
It's been so long, dude.
So here's the thing, okay? So here's the thing. The dojo is just one developer, okay? And that's Superbass. And he has
Really? Just one
just
developer?
one developer. It's just one dude. And he has a full-time job.
Jeez, all
He has a
right.
full-time job at a tech company, and he recently had a kid as well, a baby girl. So development on that is going a lot slower because of that, but we're still working on it. We're consistently working on it, but it is taking a while. We could add more developers, but at this point, I think it's gone to the point where it's just better for Supper to just finish it, because he's the sole code owner, and he knows how to navigate it the best out of everybody. So yeah, we're still gonna have all the dojo features and added features like a automated duel system, all that kind of like dojo duels. It's like it's gonna be heavily focused on dojo duels, and so it's pretty exciting to think about, but at the same time, you know, we just have to be patient. I'm impatient too, and I get frustrated at times, but you know, I can't really do anything about it. It's just the progress is what it is, and we just gotta be patient.
Yeah. So when do you, if you had to put a date on it, when do you think it's gonna be ready?
Our short-term goal right now is to have a private alpha / beta open in January. So we're trying to reach for that, but no guarantees. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
there's faster development happening on Animate. So I'm working on 2 platforms at the same time, but they're both looking really cool too. Oh, dude, and I don't know if you guys know.
Oh boy.
But we're also working on creating a free browser-based animation program that's comparable to Flash. Called Wick Editor.
Oh boy. Okay, I'll edit that out in
it's okay.
post. Don't worry about it.
Yes. Oh. Shit.
Go on.
Okay. Yeah. So, I've also reached out to Wick Editor, which is a kind of like a small developer team working on a free open source browser-based animation program, and we've been making huge progress with that. Just because I have a little focus group, and then we're kind of providing really good feedback on what a good animation program should be like. So one of our long-term goals is once we get to the point where I'm really confident in this animation program, then we will apply it to animate like on the website, so you can pretty much animate directly onto the website without downloading anything.
All right.
Oh, he's gone. Damn.
All right. Yeah, T-Bot left because he was making a little bit too much noise.
Okay. That's fine.
But yeah, I think we're gonna end the podcast there.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for dropping by.
Cool. A lot of cool things happening for
You
the
saying
future,
something?
man. I'm looking forward to 2020.
Oh yeah. Everyone go check out Animate and see what's happening over there. Check out the dojo. The dojo 2.0 might be coming out pretty soon. Who knows? And yeah. Anything else?
Sub to Hyun. He needs 700,000 subs.
No, I do not. That's a dead channel, man. Just subscribe to Hyun's dojo, man.
You need it. It's a necessity.
No, man.
All
No, dude.
yeah,
You should
so-
subscribe to Hatena because he's been killing it, man. Like doing consistent streams, hosting content like this. Like you've been keeping busy, man, and I respect it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Why not both?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So be sure to subscribe if you want more stuff like this. Let me know who other special guests you want to see on. And Hyun, if you want to show on the podcast more often, you can
just
chill here, show up when you
invite
want.
me whenever you want, and then I'll hop in, I guess.
Alrighty.
Cool.
So thank you everyone for
Thanks,
watching,
guys.
and we'll see you all next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.